I think we got it. Hello, Maddie here. Thank you so much for coming back for another video. This week we're talking about Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Now, okay, so I read this book for the first time a very long time ago. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute, and didn't think much of it. But now, while my opinions haven't necessarily changed on the book, my view of it has, because I'm a millennial and the amount of, Buzzfeed quizzes I've taken is astronomical. Not so much recently, but there was a good chunk of my time or my life where I was just always taking BuzzFeed quizzes. And one of those was like, what YA novel are you? Young adult. What young adult novel are you? And I got Fangirl. So it is now deeply etched into my identity because of a BuzzFeed quiz. I bet I can't find that quiz, but if I can find something similar, I will link it down below so you too can figure out which mediocre YA novel is going to be deeply ingrained into your identity. And I'm probably underselling this book. It's actually it's a good book. It is a good book. It's not like, oh, now I have to love this book. No, it's a decent book. It is about a girl who goes off to college and she struggles to find herself because she is a fangirl. She is very involved in a specific fandom. It's a made-up fandom, but it's very Harry Potter-esque world that's been built. And, there's like lots of books and whatever. And so she's a fangirl within this fandom, and she writes fan fiction and things like that. So she's very involved in this world, and she struggles to even want to get out of that and into the real world. Part of that is she has a twin sister who was also super deep into this fandom with her, but as they got older, and especially when they went off to college, her sister was not nearly as into it as she was. So yeah, it's about this girl involved in this fandom and struggling to find herself in the real world and even wanting to be a part of the real world. And there's a very cute, lanky, ridiculous boy who helps her, who likes her and, wants to get to know her and spend time with her, and has to kind of push her to get out of her shell and push her to have that desire to want to meet people, to want to know people, to put in the time, energy, effort, emotion into being a college freshman and completely rebuilding your world. That is a very basic look at what this book is. It's very cute, and it was not super shocking when it was the book that was like, if you were a YA novel, which YA novel would you be? Because while I have never written any fan fiction, I've never kind of done fan art or even any real cosplays, even though I would like to, I am definitely a fangirl for some fandoms. I know I've mentioned them before. Some of my big ones are Anne with an E. So it's Anne of Green Gables, but I'm really a fan of the show Anne with an E, which I know is very much a derivative of the original books. I'm aware of that fact. I know that they are not the same thing. That is why I usually say I'm a fan, like a fangirl for Anne with an E and not Anne of Green Gables, because I don't think diehard Anne of Green Gables peoples would appreciate it. At least that's what I think. On top of that, I'm a big Percy Jackson fan. I've only watched the first couple of episodes of the show. Evan and I want to keep watching it. We just haven't had the time. While I wasn't necessarily her level of involved in a fandom to where it was like my whole life, I definitely understand the escapes from reality that it can hold. Like I said, I've never written fan fiction, but I have read plenty of fan fiction. I'm a really big fan of alternate universe. So they'll take the same story, but put it in a modern setting, or this is going to go into my super nerdy, not nerdy, but fangirl weirdness. I really like soulmate AUs, which is soulmate alternate universe, which is where it's a world where you have soulmates and you have to find them. Some of my favorites have been where they'll have tattoos with the name of the person that you're going to be with, or you'll have a matching tattoo or a complimentary tattoo, or there's been ones where you could write on your arm, or whatever showed up on your body would show up on the other person's body. So if you got a bruise or a scratch, it would show up. But you could always also use it to communicate because you could like write on your arm and they would see it, which is like kind of cheating, but that's fine. Those are my like, I'm a sucker. I have one Anne with an E, Soulmate AU, that I have read and reread so many times. It is one of my comfort fan fictions because I often read pretty short, like only a few thousand words that I can read in like 15 or 30 minutes. And so I have lots of really short ones saved for just like little snippets of I just need a little emotion, mental boost. And this is what I read. So while her name, I'm pretty sure her name is Catherine. She goes by Cath or Cath, maybe. It's Cath. I think I would say Cath, but I always want to say Cath. And I'm trying to think there is some other book where something where there's a Cath. This is a main girl. And I very much understand why she's created this world and why she's very comfortable in it. But I also love that she doesn't stay there because, yes, fandoms are lovely and my couples are wonderful, but they're not real. They can't offer me guidance or support. They can't actually hug me. They can't do any of those things that you need real people for. So I very much appreciate, enjoy, and get encouragement from the narrative of this story of, I'm going to say Cath because I just like Cath better. Oh, it's from Guild Wars. Guild Wars 2, there is a Sylvari, I think is what they're called, named Cath, but it has an I in it. But Cath sounds very expensive. I think of like catheter. So we're going to go with Cath. Cath, I very much appreciate the narrative of her arc. And, it doesn't end with her completely giving up this fandom, abandoning, these people that she's grown with and loved and, written about and created with and etc. But it develops into what is healthy for her, what is good for her, what she needs at this moment in her life and at this time and at this point and yada, yada, all the words. Because having things that you enjoy, whether sound nerdy and weird like fandoms, or it might be something super normal like sports, or I want to go to like dance. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm thinking like, I went from sports and in my mind, I went to the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders because I've watched Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders making the team. And it's a fun show. It is so dramatic, but it's so fun. And their dancing is just like phenomenal. So yeah, sports or dance or reality TV, or maybe it's books or just shows in general. Who knows? We all have our things that we find comfort in, and there's literally nothing wrong with that. Is when you take it to an unhealthy level that you are no longer participating in real life, that it becomes the issue. And I think that's the point of this book and why I appreciate it and don't necessarily mind it being the book that was told was mine as me as a YA novel. Because while it wasn't my, all-time favorite book ever, words, prior to that, and it's still not like, it's just the top of all my lists. It's a book that I do identify with, and I understand. I understand the narrative, I understand the characters, and I love where it ends up. That's why I'm talking about it. That's why we're bringing it up this week. It does already have a blog, so if you want to check that out, that would be super duper awesome. In the book, like I said, she's currently writing a fan fiction, and she's writing one of the like, oh my gosh, super long, like hundreds of thousands of words fan fictions. And you're like, this is literally a novel. And it is. The author, Rainbow Rowell, actually wrote that fan fiction and made a novel. I think it's called like Carry On. Oh, Carry On, Mr. Something or something. Okay, so it is just called Carry On. Rainbow Rowell wrote the actual fan fiction from the book and put it into an actual novel called Carry On. And while I have never read it, my little sister has, and she actually did a guest blog on my blog when that was all that I was doing and wrote about it. So I'm going to link both of those below if you are interested in not only reading more about Fangirl, but also reading about kind of the accompanying book, Carry On. I'm pretty sure it actually went into a trilogy of like these fan fictions. I have read none of them, but they exist because it was so popular, the fan fiction within this book. It's like, that's just so on par. But if those interest you, I would love if you would check them out. That would be really cool. It's reminding me that I need to ask other siblings to write blogs for me because I have a list of books I want to talk about that don't have blogs, and maybe I'll see if one of them is willing to write a blog based off of one of those books. And then I could do an accompanying video, and that'd be pretty cool because you would get to see one of my siblings' views and my views all about the same book. I think that'd be pretty cool. But that's all I have to say about Fangirl. It's a great book. It's a cute book. And while, even if you're not like me in that you've gotten super involved in fandoms, you haven't read lots of fan fiction and all those things, it's a great book just for understanding how easy it is to not connect with reality, how easy it is to not develop friendships, to not look outwardly, and to very much just focus on yourself and your personal emotions, your personal outlooks, and only catering to yourself. Because that's really easy to do. It's really easy to focus on, but reminding you to look outwardly, to go to the thing, participate in the event, talk to the person, do the thing, because books are not real, and people and places and things and these events are real, and they are so worth your time and so worth your emotions and your energy that I would wish that you would participate in them. Don't use that as a thing to guilt yourself. If you are in a period of your life where you just do not have the time, energy, whatever to participate, that's okay. You have seasons. I had seasons where I couldn't look past the end of my nose. And so if you are in a season where that's just not reality for you, that's fine. There's literally nothing wrong with that. It is when you actively choose to stay in that place for longer than is healthy, that's when it becomes an issue. And that's this book. That's what this book is pointing at, saying there's nothing wrong with these things, but revolving your life around them for longer than the healthy amount or more than the healthy amount or whatever, that's when it becomes an issue. Everything in moderation, right? So I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope you guys are feeling okay. I hope your hearts are okay. I hope your minds are okay, because I know for me, that's why I slipped into fandoms, was because I wasn't doing okay. So I hope you guys are doing awesome. I hope we've had a great start to your year. And I hope to see you back here in a couple of weeks. So, with all of that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great night, great week, great weekend, great month, great year. I hope you have all the greats because you're truly worthy and deserving of them. So, until next time, 再见. Bye.